Ships or Ship Z? Only you can decide. Find out more at shipzorz.com.
Hi everyone, this is Irina and I'm bringing you this week's Supply Chain Minute. So let's talk about lead times because we are in planning right now for supporting holiday 2021 with products, shelf space needs to be filled and sales need to be planned. And as we know, there continue to be very high constraints in the global supply chain marketplace, whether that be because of labor shortages, port congestion, transportation bottlenecks, raw material shortages, and of course, just a lot of negotiations that's been happening that have been curtailed somewhat, and timelines have been changed significantly. And so those are having larger impacts on secondary and tertiary suppliers or consumers. And so the interesting thing and what's happening is what we're generally expecting is that for consumer goods, lead times are generally anywhere between 15 to 45 days, depending on how they're manufactured, where they're manufactured, and how they're transported. However, right now, the average lead time happens to be around 80 days. We actually saw a bit of an increase in May from 85 to 87 days, which is enormous. And so those lead times and those planning times and really the cash involvements and in these planning situations have significantly changed. So that's for consumer goods. In some markets like electronics, what we're seeing is an increase from about 16 weeks to over 52 weeks. And in furniture, we're seeing lead times of anywhere between 4 to 9 months, where those used to be anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. So it's very hard to plan. It's especially hard to plan for sales and promotions and other things. And so I'm super interested to understand where some of the strategies that some of the supply chain professionals listening to this have employed. What we know is that some brands have actually tried to work around some of the transportation bottlenecks by planning air freight into their budget for the second half of this year. We know that companies like Walmart and Target are significantly expanding their planning horizons. And of course, this can have ramifications in terms of inventory leftover or just not enough inventory, so shortage in planning. The final thing that I'd like to hear from you guys is how are you negotiating? Because this is definitely a seller's market, a seller's advantage. So the supply chain manager will pay anything to actually get the product to the consumer. But where is that threshold? And what have some companies put a threshold on that? How are you guys thinking about this? Let's share the knowledge. I'm really interested to see what some of the thinking is, specifically because, as I said, holiday planning is definitely here. So will we have the inventories? Will we be expecting the same promotions as we've seen in the past? Or are prices just so high that because of these costs that we just aren't going to be able to purchase as much as we are generally prepared to? So more to come on this, and I'm super excited for your feedback. Thanks, guys. Till next time. Bye-bye.